why the Magic the Gathering Ambassador program is a scam. And it was the smartest thing that Wizards of the Coast ever did. The smartest thing I think that Wizards of the Coast ever did was coming up with the Magic the Gathering Ambassador program because it allowed them to financially strain people who love this game. And again, this is just my opinion. If you're new here, my name is Eric. I share a lot about Magic the Gathering. It is one of my favorite hobbies. And unfortunately, I'm a little bit burnt out with it right now. And this was something that I wanted to share about because I don't feel we talk about this enough in the Magic the Gathering community, is the Ambassador program. When I started making Magic the Gathering content, I'm not going to lie, I wanted to be ambassador. And why did I want to be ambassador? Well, you got free stuff from Wizards of the Coast. Who doesn't want free stuff? You know what I mean? If you're new here, hit the like and follow button. I share a lot of just my input and takes on Magic the Gathering. I've been playing Magic since 1993 is when I started playing Magic the Gathering. And I have taken breaks of it. I have gotten sober. And in my sobriety, one of the things I got back to was playing Magic the Gathering. So I do really enjoy this actually a lot. And I know that sometimes my videos will even come off a little bit negative. It's more my way, I think, to vent and keep a conversation going that we don't talk enough about, which is how Wizards of the Coast has really went downhill. There's a creator out there. He's an ambassador. His name is Ben. And he was sharing about how Magic the Gathering is in the golden era. I believe Magic the Gathering is going into the recession era. And here is why, though. And the smartest thing that they ever did was making the ambassador program. And comment your thoughts about this ambassador program down below. Because what I see the ambassador program is an easy way for Wizards of the Coast to continue the path that they're on. You're going to go out, you're going to get the biggest creators in Magic the Gathering. You're going to offer them an ambassador program, which is great. You're going to start giving them free stuff. You get, right now with the Magic the Gathering Ambassador program, you get a free commander deck, one of each. You get 2 play booster boxes. You get a collector booster box. You get whatever the free, whether it's the codex or whether it's the pizza, you're going to get the free bonus. And you're going to hype this set up for us. You're going to hype up the set. But the thing that is funny is, because of this free, that's a huge value there. It doesn't cost the Wizards of the Coast money at all. I mean, it's pennies in the dollar of what it helps them actually maintain. Now you have a lot of people out there just naturally advertising these new sets. And they're excited about each set, hyping you up for each set, telling you why you need to buy each set. Great advertising. I mean, this should something that should really be analyzed by other companies, because it's the first company I really saw that used the community against itself. And so now that you have these ambassadors, anybody who wants to be a Magic the Gathering creator now wants to be an ambassador. What does this also entail? You can't do content like mine. You can't talk about how Wizards of the Coast fucks you. Because if you talk about how Wizards of the Coast is fucking you over, how the product's going to crap, how you're getting less for more, you're not going to be an ambassador anymore, and you're going to lose out on your free stuff. And who wants to lose out on their free stuff? Does that make sense? That was really creative on their, because now you have the biggest creators. And there are some really large creators. And what I call as a large creator in this area is any creator with 50,000 followers or more. I consider myself a large creator in mental health and addiction, but my view over there is a little different. I have millions of followers over there. If you didn't know, I'm also the Mr. Impulsive. If you want to follow my other YouTube channel, is the Eric B. Zink. I have it tagged down below. But you get these large creators. So you don't have any of the large creators going against Wizards of the Coast. And they're not highlighting any of the true damage that Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro is doing. Because let's look at it. What has happened to Wizards of the Coast? And in my personal opinion, Wizards of the Coast has went through golden eras, multiple ones. When I first got into Magic, definitely a golden era. We had Legends, there was Antiquities, the Dark was just coming out when I was in it. I mean, it was great. They came out with Fallen Empire and Homelands. They sucked. Ice Age sucked, but then they kind of rebounded themselves with Chronicles. That was really a great era. And then it went through some slumps throughout there. I mean, you ended up having like the Urza block, which was a phenomenal block with Markadian Mass. But then all of a sudden you slowly went into like Nemesis and Prophecy. And at the time, they were not great sets. Rhystic Study was a horrible card until Commander came out. And then you all of a sudden went through what I want to call is like the most recent golden era, which was Modern Horizons 3, Outlaw Thunder Junction, you had Duskmourn, you had Bloomburrow, where there was just really fun and creative sets, and you weren't also invaded with so much Universes Beyond. And I don't think Universes Beyond is necessarily a bad thing. I think it gets a little bit of a bad rap, but it does bring in newer players, which is always needed. But what you started seeing with the ambassadors is no one will highlight this and tell you about this. They just want you to buy the product, keep pushing the product. And you got a lot of people out there that can't afford this product, by the way. Collector boxes and boosters are the biggest ripoff there is. It's the biggest scam. I'll do a video on why I think it's the worst thing Magic the Gathering has ever done, as somebody who's been playing since the 90s. When it comes, though, to them, they're always very positive about this, never saying, hey, let's look at the cards and everything going on as a whole and how to actually have fun and affordability with this. Because that was part of the fun of this. It was fun and affordable. It's not fun and affordable anymore. It's still fun, but once the affordability starts to go away, the fun does start to kind of leave. And the one thing that no one ever really amped up or talked truly about was the first big cut we really saw was going from 36 packs down to 30. So you had like Bloomborough and Dustmorn and Foundations and all these 36 packs. You're averaging between 50, 51 mythics and rares. That's a lot of mythics and rares. That's cool. And again, I just will use mythics and rares as an example because those are typically the most playable cards, even if they're not a huge dollar figure. And you're supposed to have those same pull rates. You know, inflation's happening, stuff's happening, guys, you got to bear with us. So we're going to shrink them down to 30 packs. And we're going to offer the same type of pull rates. And what we're also going to do is make them more affordable. So we're going to bring the price down. That makes sense. Like, okay, I'm cool with that. So what did they do? In 2025, they come out with Ether Drift. And Ether Drift was the first set that had only 30 packs. Now, they still did a box topper in Ether Drift. And now they haven't done a box topper since Ether Drift, which was smart. They put the box topper in there to kind of lighten the blow. So you're still feeling this added value subconsciously because we got a box topper, two gold foil cards. But if you look at the pull rates, and I've done videos, that's actually what started this channel for me, is I've been competing sets, and I did Modern Horizons, for example, versus Avatar. And Modern Horizons, I mean, 51 mythics and rares versus, I mean, out of all of the 30 pack boxes and even the Ether Drift box, you're getting like 39 to 40 mythics and rares. For 6-pack difference, you're actually getting less for more. But let's go into it. So you're still getting collector sample packs. You're still getting all this. Then what do? They start bringing in more universes beyond. You had Tarkir come out, but now you had Final Fantasy come out, and you started seeing the prices going back up. And nowadays, the price of a booster box is more than what it was back when they're doing that to save us money, essentially. It comes down to profit. They're posting the biggest profits they ever had. But we have Magic the Gathering ambassadors who will not address this and will attack people and defend their name when they're not in the room. So now you have these ambassadors, very large, almost bullies, that can defend Hasbro while they're not in the room and say, but you don't understand what they're doing because it has to be a positive spin. Because if they're negative, they could lose their ambassadorship. That's kind of crazy, right? So you have these people who essentially have sold out. And let's face it, these ambassadors aren't necessarily the people that deserve the ambassadorship. Who do I think deserves being an ambassador? It's the people that can't afford this, the people that truly love this, that maybe make some content with their heart and soul, that they just love this game. And they can't maybe afford it. To give them the opportunity to have a free collector's booster box would be epic. But they don't do that. They got to find the bigger creators. So you don't have that true heart behind it, and you have a sellout heart behind it. I don't see many ambassadors out there that truly have heart behind it. You're never going to get to the level of collecting and playing that they do now. So they're going to defend it as much as they can. And we're watching it just constantly starting to get worse. I mean, let's look at it to today. So today in Magic the Gathering, Marvel has just come out. This is the first time now personally with a set that I have not bought a collector booster, a set or play booster, a commander deck. I have not bought anything from Marvel, and it's already out in big box stores near me. Because I'm so turned off by it that I buy older sets. So nowadays you're getting 30 packs of booster box. Booster boxes are 150, 160 bucks. You're pulling 39, maybe 40 mythics and rares. The collector packs, I think, are one of the worst things that ever happened to Magic. The odds of you getting your money back on it is very, very bad. It is hardcore gambling. And also collector boosters have brought in scalpers in a sense and brought in people because they were smart. They went after that Pokemon collecting community type deal. So you have those kind of collectors here now. Then you go into the commander decks. The commander decks have only one foil card, not two foil cards. They don't have the big foil cards anymore. They don't have the hard foil cards anymore. They don't have the little life counter anymore. They don't have a commander sample pack anymore. And they'll always will touch on it a little bit that, hey, we're taking out the commander sample pack. Hey, we're only going to do one foil. But bang for your buck, you're going to go pay $75 for the Doom Commander, and you get like nothing in it. Where like with Tarkir, for example, even when they started cutting back, Tarkir you could still buy, still end up getting a collector sample and at least the two foils. You go back to Lost Caverns where you're getting the hard card, the two foils, the collector sample, the life counter. It just made you feel so much more value and bang for your buck, where they were like on your side. They're on a play. I mean, that was what a commander deck was supposed to be, everything you need to play. So if you're brand new, you don't have a life counter. Even though it was a cheap little cardboard, I mean, I have them up here, life counters, it still served the purpose. And so that is a lot of how Wizards of the Coast has been able, I feel, to go and shift and completely F people over, but have it hoorah'd and not talked about enough. Because ultimately, no change is going to happen until it gets bad enough. And once it gets bad enough and they start to notice that there is stagnant shelves, because they did, Spider-Man had some stagnant shelves, you could start seeing that they're rushing sets. Even this year, I think they've rushed some of these sets. I think they rushed Turtles. I think Turtles could have been really cool, but I think they rushed it. I think they rushed Lauren personally. I think they rushed every set so far. I really kind of in my own way feel they rushed, except for Marvel, because Marvel could be its own game essentially by itself. And they've already done Marvel Secret Layers, and they reprinted some of those cards essentially in Marvel. So I mean, Marvel wasn't as rushed, but this is my opinion. I'm just watching the quality going down, and I really think that this is in the recession era that you're going to see at some point people just start to walk away because let's face it, economy wise right now in general as the U.S. The U.S. market is the biggest economy for Hasbro Magic the Gathering, and we're not in good economic times. I mean, we're over $4 a gallon of gas most places still. We're at war with Iran. I mean, prices are still very high. We have inflation in the U.S. We have a higher unemployment rate now in the US. So times have definitely changed from like 2023, 2024 till now, economy wise. So for me, even it's more bang for your buck. I will spend $250 right now at like Stomping Grounds. I think is phenomenal out of Nevada. If you guys want to buy boxes and good deals, Stomping Grounds. I'll even tag them down below. I have no affiliation with them, but I do buy cards from them now because like I'd rather go pay $250 for a box of Modern Horizons 3 that gives me a ton of playable cards, a ton of value, make me happy to open versus Marvel right now that I'm going to pay $150 for, $160 for 30 packs, maybe 39 mythics and rares, and I'm not even excited about it. So I'm curious of what your thoughts are. I think that this is something that Hasbro kind of stumbled upon, and it was a great idea to do the ambassador program. I think one of the things that Hasbro should do is actually truly give the ambassador program to those who love Magic. Not even myself. I'm not even advocating for myself. I'm advocating for these people that have a couple thousand followers that are just excitable people. Just to see people have joy in this game would bring me joy and make me want to buy it. Does that make sense? But I'm curious of what your opinion is. Comment below, hit the like and follow button if you guys haven't yet. I do share a lot of just my opinions on this and experiences with Magic the Gathering. I'm going to have some good content, fun content up when it comes to like how to build commander decks and how I build commander decks and stuff like that and how I keep this game fun and affordable. But I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions. So comment down below.